It's that time. For another vlog and a new project. No Kaylee shot this time. The last couple of vlogs you've had Kaylee. She's taking a breather. She is out here with me, but she's relaxing out there, enjoying the heat. I mentioned at the end of the last vlog, I've got a couple of small projects to do. And I'm going to group them both together. The second one that you'll be seeing after I get this first project done has to do with my partition walls I use for my haunt. I have a stack of them out with the skins that need to be maintenance. So I'm going to do a vlog on how I'm going to maintenance them. And that'll be the second half of this vlog. First part of this vlog is something kind of new, kind of old as well. The skull here. I got 3 of these last year from, what was it, Powwow Crafts. That's that vendor that sets up next to me in Auburn. Do these skulls. They're a ceramic skull. And this year in the haunt, we had them sitting on some cups and stuff, so they were sitting at different heights. And I went and did a quick spot and put some flickering yellow lights in there. So the eyes, the nose, and the mouth were flickering. It was a really, really cool effect. We kept having a problem, though. If we bumped the table they were sitting on, they'd fall off the stands that we had. So I'm going to make a nice plaque that these could be attached to and all be wired up together in. We're going to be using the skulls, and then I've got some LEDs that we're going to be doing, and I bought a whole bunch of these. These are caps. You get them in the plumbing area, test fit caps. And we're going to drill some holes out to put the to mount the LEDs and stuff in. I'm going to be calling them light pucks. And on the bottom of the skull, there's a hole there. That cap just almost fits into that hole. So I'm going to have to widen the hole out very carefully on it to get them in. But we're going to do some light pucks and get these skulls fixed up. And I've got 2 more in the house I got from them this year too. We're going to mess around with them, and we're going to get some lights installed in them. My first step is I've got to grind that hole out, I think, for that to fit. I'm going to have to check. I haven't checked it yet. I haven't done anything other than get them out to show you. My next step is I've got some 1/8" veneer. I'm going to cut out pieces that I can glue on over here so you can't get in to see the wiring in there. And I'm going to go from there. Figured I'd let the fog clear a little bit and give you guys another segment. Been slightly busy out here, not overly much. I started out working on the skulls. You notice I've got 5 skulls out here now. I'll get to the 2 white ones here in a sec. But on my original 3, I had to go through and I took my Dremel and cleaned up that hole a little bit. On 2 of them, the white caps here would not fit in the hole, so I just kind of ground the hole down. And then I used a masonry bit to drill that small hole in it. That's where the wire is going to be coming out for the current project I'm working on. So I went and got all 3 of these skulls out. Now, this one, Lloyd and Maline, I should say, sorry, gave me these first market. These were 2 for a project that didn't work out. And the guy who ordered it had him cut a slot in the bottom of it. And it didn't work too well. They also drilled a hole up there for a wire to come out. So what I ended up doing, that hole is just too high up on the skull. Any wire I put in there would show. So I'm going to fill it with caulking down the line. And I drilled a small hole using a masonry. I started out trying my Dremel. And the Dremel was just taking too long. So I used a masonry bit and drilled a hole out for the wire that I'm going to need to come out. On the bottom here, where this oblong hole is, here, put this over here like that, maybe, like that. Come on, a little bit more. There we go. The puck goes down here in this area, and I don't need this showing. So I went and traced out the bottom of the skull and cut these out. And see that? No, wait, that's number 1. to go over that hole and help hold the back side of the puck. So I got those done. Those are ready to go. I then switched over. I got to looking at these. The lights are coming out this side here. This side in here is where all the wiring is going to be. So if I put it in the skull, like it's supposed to go in like that, the wires, you know, you'd be able to touch the wires and stuff. I didn't think that was all that safe. So I went and measured out and cut out a bunch of discs. And this will fit over the back of it like that to help protect the wiring and stuff. And I just got done doing these. I cut them out and I ran them over the disc sander over there to smooth them out. My next chore, however, is with these. I've got to get 3 holes drilled in here so the LEDs can stick through, plus a 4th hole across from it for the wire to stick through. So I've got 2 things I need to do. One, I need to mark for the holes and get them drilled. But this tab on the inside is going to be in the way too. So I'm going to need to get that tab out. And I can probably just break it off or grind it off with my Dremel. Okay, as you can tell from my backdrop behind me, we're down in the basement workshop. The reason being is we've got some light assembly to do. Did a little bit of work last night. And I got a couple of the pucks semi put together. Here's one of them here, and it's just real simple. It's an 1.5 inch test cap that you get over in the plumbing section. And I went and soldered together 3 LEDs and have them inserted with a lead wire on it and a resistor. And I got 3 of the reds done. And I'll put this back over here. Having to do a little bit different on the soldering. With the LEDs, I'm soldering them together in series of 3s, which is like I do with my floodlights. But the wire contacts on them are fairly long, and there's not enough room inside the cap to have the long contacts. So I'm having to cut the contacts down a little bit shorter, which makes it a little bit more interesting for soldering. If I get them all 3 of them soldered, I get their wire leads put on, and then it's just basically inserting them into the back of the cap. Now to hold them into the back of the cap, and here's one here, I am going to be putting, filling most of this cavity up with hot glue. And then once I get it filled, I'll take out one of these wooden discs that I cut, and here we'll put this one off to the side, get this one to it'll sit level. But after I get filled with the lights inserted and the concavity filled with hot glue, this will go right over the top of it to seal the back, so you don't get your fingers in there or water doesn't get in there and what have you. But I've got several of them I'm going to be doing. I'm actually, my friends wanted to see what they look like from Powwow Crafts. So I'm going to do up one of each color to take over to the market with me so they can see what they look like lit up. And then I need 2 red and 3 flickering yellows for my project out in the shop. Hey, not too bad. I got the pucks done. But I wanted to show you the finished product I did for my friends over at Powwow Crafts. There you go. There's your pucks. And they're all set up on the end to accept a wall wart. And this, like this one here that will be coming with them. It's a 1 amp wall wart. And I did 5 colors. I've got red, white, blue, flickering yellow, and green. And I'm sitting here thinking of a design change possibly on these, or an option. With this one here, I've got, it's about 1/8 inch Luan is what I use for the cap. When I insert these into the skulls, if it's going to be sitting on the bottom of the skull will end up sitting up off the whatever surface you have it on, about 1/8 of an inch. So I was thinking what I could do is, instead of applying the wood plug on the back, after I get the lights in, the lights are held in with a big gob of hot glue on the inside, I could fill that cavity where the lights go with some silicone caulking, you know, and then just flush it off, and then as it dries, it would create a dip in the center, but it would look would enable this light to fit flush that way. Problem is doing it, that's a lot of space to fill up with caulking, so it'd be a little more expensive just because of the cost of the caulking and the fact it would have to dry 24 to 48 hours. Cure, I guess, would be about the best word. But that would allow the puck itself to fit flush right up against whatever you're putting it in. So I have to talk to my friends and see how they want to do it and stuff. But for right now, that's pretty much good to go. And I think when I put them up on Etsy, I am going to put some of these up on Etsy. I'm going to probably sell them when they're filled with silicone on the back instead of the wood plug. Make it all, for all intents and purposes, a little safer. Well, not safer, but a little neater probably. Let's get these turned on. I'll do all 5 colors so you can kind of see what they look like. There's the green, red, white, blue, and flickering yellow. Okay, now that lunch is done, we're outside, as you can tell from the background, in the shop. I've done a little bit of work. I went down and bought a 12-inch wide, a 1-inch thick, and about 6-foot long board. And I've got it cut down into 2 different sizes. This one here is going to be holding 3 different skulls. Then I've got 2 plaques this size. They're going to hold the 2 white skulls, 1 per plaque. Now I gotta get them. Now that I got them cut to length, I gotta get the shape drawn on them, get them cut out, do the detail work to the boards, and then alright, made some progress. I got the base for the 3 skulls done and the single skulls done. I also got some back pieces cut that will go on the bottom of each of the plaques. Reason being is I routed out the back. The hole here, here, and here are where the wires for the skulls come through. And they're all going to have to make connection in here and get ran out here for the stereo jacks. Little ones, same way. But once the wiring's done, I can get some glue on there and I can put these over this so you don't see the routed area. It'll kind of protect the wiring and stuff a little bit better too. So we've got that done. Last step out here for today, and I am done for the day, is I gotta get these stained. That way they'll dry overnight, and then tomorrow we can get out here and get the project finished, or closer to being finished. Welcome to another day. Yesterday we went and got the plaques cut out that the skulls are going to be sitting on, and I got them stained. Next day, obviously, because I just said that, and they're dry. So I've been out here for a little bit, and I went and took some of those tubes that I got from Scarra Hollow a couple years back. I got them cut down, and the skulls are going to be pretty much sitting like that. I might switch the height on them a little bit. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. Haven't gotten that far. Then the white ones are just going to sit like that on their plaques. My next step is I've got to get the rest of the wiring in. The pucks here, I need to get the wiring ran through the hole in the plaques, get them wired up on the back so I can get the backside stuff done. Then it's just basically mounting the skulls. I do have some decoration I'm going to do on the tubes so you don't see the tubes. Should get it done today, hopefully, and this project will be finished. Okay, we're in the shop. I got the lights out. It's reveal time, of a sorts. A little bit too much light coming in. You can see the red in the white skulls. The centers have flickering yellows in it, and it needs to be a little darker for the flickering yellows. But, ouch, stepping on things. This project is for the most part done. Let me try something here. We'll see if we can darken it up a little bit more. Alright, that did a little bit better. Still got some light coming in the window there. But you can see the glow from the flickering yellows now. This project is for the most part done. I do have a correction I need to do on the puck lights, and I'll go over that in the next segment probably. But it didn't turn out too bad. The back of them, where I've got the power hooked up, I ended up putting a stereo jack, a speaker jack back there, or that way I can just plug wires in. Normally, I just let leave a long wire hanging out, and I didn't want the wiring hanging out the back. So I put the stereo jack, and I did that on all three pieces, and then the wiring underneath is hidden by the base plate, which I put on. So for the most part, these are done. The puck lights I made are working perfectly. I do have a design change I need to do on them. Okay, beautiful people. Here's the repair segment, or project change segment. I promised you, I think it was last segment or the segment before. If you remember right, the little puck lights I did a wood disc on the bottom of them. And I ran into a problem. The disc was causing my skulls to sit up at a weird angle because of the thickness of the wood. So I ended up on the project just knocking the wood disc off, and the skull set just right. I was thinking for, you know, sale or usage or whatever, probably best just to do away with that wood disc. And I had several tubes of caulking, silicone caulking, that's paintable, dries fast, and I did up 12 more of the discs. 5 of them are, I'm taking over to the farmer's market with me. Powwow Crafts at the Auburn one is interested in the lights, so the puck lights, so I'm going to take some over. I did one of each color for them, so they can see what they look like. I don't know if they're going to order any or not. Then in chat last night, I mentioned the puck light project, and someone in chat was interested, and he actually ordered some. So it gave me a chance today. I've been putting puck lights together. I got 12 of them all the way done, but as you can see, they've got a solid back now to them, and it's paper thin, so it should fit flush. I'm going to have to wait and see how they turn out. Now with that caulking, as it dries, it's going to leave a little divot right in the center. It tends to like to shrink when it dries. So I'm going to have to wait and see how bad that little divot is. I may have to come back with a second coat of caulking and fill it in, or just leave it as is. Haven't gotten that far yet. We'll find out during the drying stage. But now, as far as I can go on this project, switch over to the second project for this vlog. And that has to do with something I'll show you here next segment. Alright, next project. Small project. Easy project, but semi-involved. Those there. Nice big stack of my partition walls. These gray ones here are my wall panels for my old mausoleum that we destroyed. I need to go through and do some maintenance. Some of them just need to be cleaned up, have extra screws and stuff removed. Others, like this one here, has staples in it from when I was doing scene setter wallpapers. Others, this long piece that goes down the side here is starting to rot out on the bottom. You know, so they need to be replaced, what have you. Problem is, you see down in there, I have stuff stored in between them. So I got to get some of that stuff out and slowly start breaking these stacks down, getting them into the shop. We're going to go through, get them cleaned up, get them maintenance over the next week or so, and Some of them go back out in the stacks on the side of the house. I got part stack out there. The rest of them sit back here because I don't have enough room to put them all back out there. But I need to get these cleaned up. Then we can move on to the next project. Another weekend of the farmers market completed. And it was our busiest one so far this year. We're beat. It's Monday. What time is it? Yeah, it's about 4:30, almost 5 o'clock. We've been running errands since about 8:30 this morning. We're just getting finished, getting home. We left you working on this. These are some of my old partition walls from my original mausoleum I built. I'm in here working on partitions. I showed you the stack out back. I got a lot of them to do. I'm starting on these because I need to be able to clean them. When I originally did the original mausoleum, I attached all the foam with Gorilla Glue. And I figured I'm going to run them over my table saw, get them cleaned up so I can reuse them, reassemble them, which means I have to deassemble them all in order to run them through the table saw. Now, I'm working on that. I got 4 panels done. I got 5 more to do, and then I'll drag the saw out and get them cleaned up and reassembled. But one of the things we did, I took advantage of some sale prices at Harbor Freight after talking to my friend that has been doing the welding for the Max and stuff. He's retired from it. He's not going to do any more mechs for me. So if I want to continue on the road to pneumatics, I'm going to need to do the welding myself. Now, I took classes 30 some odd years ago with arc welding, which is one form of welding. I was pretty good at it, enjoyed it. Haven't done any welding since. But Harbor Freight was having some good sales this week, or this month, so I went down today and bought an adjustable steel welding table. You can set the table for different angles. It has spaces to put clamps up and in to hold things, what have you. Also bought a cutoff saw. There you go, get the right angle. A cutoff saw for cutting the metal. I'm going to need some way of cutting metal. And I also bought a 90 amp flux wire welder down there. It was like 130, 140 bucks, about around 140 bucks on sale for 99, so I snatched it. I've still got some other things I need to get. I mean, this is just a starter. These were the big ticket items. I still need gloves and brushes and all sorts of stuff. Get those next week. This project is down the line. The project I want to do is for the clown hallway. I have a pneumatic prop for the clown hallway I want to build. And I don't know if I'm going to get to it this season. It depends on when I get everything else done. I've still got the partition walls I've got to get done. I need to replace 3 windshield wiper motors on 3 of the props I've already got. You know, things are getting worn out and need to be replaced. I've got that damn mausoleum. You know, I've got to get it finished. You know, we got the arches done. I still need to clean up the skins for the outside, wire it up for the light boxes and fog, and then do a test fit of it out in the backyard. You know, that's the next project really after I get done with doing the partition walls. And I still have to lay out the hunt on paper. I haven't even gotten around to doing that yet. It depends on the mausoleum. I'm going to try doing a couple different configurations with the mausoleum, and depending on where I put the mausoleum, might be dependent on some other things, and you know, one thing leads to another. Don't know if I'm going to get a chance to use any of this season. It might be something during the winter I'll end up doing. Okay, it's Thursday night. I'm pretty much done with the project. Ended up with 44 panels I ended up having to repair. Some of them just need staples pulled. Others actually needed to be torn apart and fixed. I went down and bought 16 2x4s to do the long part of the wall. I had those there and those there that ended up needing to be replaced. I have a bunch left over, and I'm debating on putting them up on the table and just making wall panels out of them. As far as the darker pieces here and those up there. I'm going to clean them up, save them, and I can use them in the hunt, either as stakes to hold fence panels or bracing, or if I need any stub walls or whatever, I can use them for that. So they won't be thrown in the garbage. They're not totally useless. And we got a Kaylee in here who just brought her toy. She wants to play again. Normally, when she does this, I just shuck it out the window like this. And she goes after it. I got Kaylee with her toy. She's gone out and gotten it, brought it back, and sits there and gives me the weirdest look. Daddy, you're not playing. But I'm bringing it out here. You'll notice from my earlier videos, it looks a little different. It's a little more cleaned up. Those are some of the ones I got repaired. The rest are out in the stacks out there. I had room, so I was able to get the pile down. And those members I have left over, I'll just add to that stack. Still got a little bit more cleaning to do out here, but it's Thursday and it's way after dinner. I gotta get in, get some paperwork and bookwork and stuff done before we hit the road tomorrow. So it's gonna have to wait till Monday. So with that, I think I'm gonna bring this vlog to a close. Next vlog, we're back on the mausoleum project to finish it totally. And it'll actually be a 2-vlog process. How soon it will be out, I don't know. The first vlog is going to be the finish work I have to do on it. And then once it's done, we're going to drag the mausoleum out, totally set it up with lighting, hopefully, and double check, make sure everything works, and then we'll do a special setup vlog, you know, if it's set up and working and stuff. Kind of a reveal vlog, though you guys have already seen the insides. I don't know if I'll show the insides or not, but you'll get an outside look at it. So those are the vlogs coming up. With that, I'm going to bid you adieu. Stay spooky, stay toxic.